Today we're talking about beer and wine.
Fall is the harvest season when the grapes are ripe on the vine and ready for picking. The fields are plowed for their grain. And since the dawn of agriculture, we've taken this abundance of crops and fermented them into beer and wine for both preservation and our enjoyment.
And this is also the time of year where we come together and gather. We're hosting more parties. We're really socializing, usually with a glass of wine or cider or beer in our hands. And having that glass in your hand really allows you to let down any of your guard and increase that social interaction. So while what's in the glass is not nourishing your physical body, it's actually nourishing your emotional body because of this increased socialization.
And we know the studies say that wine and beer have health benefits, but let's get real about it. At the end of the day, we're looking to our food for these health benefits and even more. So let the wine and beer be more for your spiritual and social benefits.
And when it comes to beer and wine, quality is key because it's not required by law to list any of the ingredients on any alcohol. So this is now just increasing our exposure, potential exposure to things like pesticides, herbicides, GMOs, sugars, food colorings, and all these other chemical additives that we have no idea are in these things.
And the traditional old style of way of fermenting wine is this beautiful art form. And the smaller family-owned wineries, they're so proud of their product and they're still doing that today. But when it comes to the mass production, these bigger labels, most of them are looking to sell more faster. And so they're looking to the flavor and color profiles that sell the most, and they're using they're chemically altering the wine using things like mega purple and ultra red to make things sweeter and darker in color and pumping these concentrates into the wine. So the next time you have a hangover or a headache from a bottle of wine, this might be the reason.
And it's popular belief to blame sulfites on any headaches or hangovers that you might have, but sulfites are a naturally occurring byproduct from fermentation, which means any bottle of wine that you get is going to contain sulfites. But the issue is that they're actually adding in more sulfites that are unnatural to preserve longer shelf life and flavor and all of these things. So also remember that grapes are really high on the dirty dozen list, which means that the skin is really porous. So all of the pesticides can easily absorb into the grapes. So the bigger the company that you're buying your wine from, the more pesticides they're going to be using. The smaller vineyards and the smaller productions that we're looking at, the much less. You can also go for organic. And just to remember that sulfites, actually, there's more sulfites in apricots than there are in a glass of wine.
And so this same concept applies to beer as well. And we are so excited about the resurgence of these small craft breweries that are popping up everywhere in the United States. So we have learned that there were so many in the past that got shut down during Prohibition, and now they're kind of coming back. It's a really cool story about the history of American beer, which we will go further into in the podcast later in the week, so don't miss it. But go take a tour of a little small craft brewery. The first thing that they're going to tell you is how proud they are of the quality and where they source their barley and their hops and their wild yeast strains. This is all really exciting. And become a connoisseur. Go check it out. Learn the flavor profiles and the different styles and how they fermented in different ways, and learn to appreciate this art of fermentation.
So we love cooking with beer and wine, and something we made today is this coq au vin, which translates into chicken in wine, and it was made really popular from Julia Childs. It's a traditional French recipe that can be really complicated, but we made it super simple, all in one pot, and it's full of these rich flavors, tons of wine, actually a whole bottle of wine, and you'll find that this is the perfect dish to make for any of your gatherings or holiday parties coming up.
So head on over to simply-seasonal.com, sign up for emails, get this coq au vin recipe, and so much more.
Well, that sounds simple enough.
Because it's simply seasonal.
Coco vin.
Coq au vin.
Coco vin.
Cacawoon. Conch au vin.
Ah!
What?
Yeah, that was really close. Coco vin.
Coco vin.
Yeah.
Coco vin.
Say it in your nose. Coco vin.
Coco vin.
Good job. That sounds really good.
Yes. Place
You like
the coco vin in the oven.
that was really good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Megan had to run out to catch the carpool lane. Guess I better clean everything up.